Testing 1, 2, 3.
Welcome, everybody. We're back. We got episode 18 of the Next Man Up Sportscast. We had enough episodes to legally get drafted. So we are number 18. Yes, indeed, Mandy. So we're going to move on to our first topic. Topic number one. Yes, it is. We're in the heat of football season. But the topic that has me going here, that has me excited, is the NBA. And that is how you do it right there. That is how you stay relevant during your off season. You have these huge blockbuster trades, these blockbuster deals that get done. And look at that. Chris Paul actually getting traded instead of being vetoed by the commissioner. That was messed up. Should have had the Lakers a couple more rings, you know what I mean? But Chris Paul actually getting dealt. So he got dealt to the Suns, Mandy. He's going to be over there playing with your boy Devin Booker, with the Suns, DeAndre Ayton. How do you feel about that trade?
That's a big three, my guy. Who was the hottest team? in
the bubble?
The NBA bubble?
The Suns.
The Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Phoenix, and now you're going to add CP3, the infamous, possible almost Lakers. CP3 now is going to the Phoenix Suns with all his experience, his veteran leadership. He's going to take Booker under his wing and Ayton. Oh, my Lord. The Suns are going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. You saw what Chris Paul did with the Lonely Thunder. Everyone thought the Thunder were going to be trash this year.
Yeah.
Right? They wrote him off. Chris Paul's collecting a paycheck in OKC. He led them to the playoffs on the top 6 seed, I think, or 5 seed, whatever they were.
Yeah, they were a 6 seed, I believe.
Yeah.
But my question here, though, and this is my problem with the trade, right? Does it make the Suns a championship contender?
I mean, no, because you have the Lakers.
No, exactly, right? So don't you think the Suns gave up a little bit too much to get Chris Paul?
No, because you still have your core 5 guys playing the NBA at a time. You have your core 2. You have your guard and Booker. You have Ayton. Okay, you need to stay relevant. You need to keep these guys happy right now from making them leave. So why not bring a Chris Paul in, teach them, right, the last remaining years he has, teach him, take him under the wing. And now when Booker and Ayton grow up, grow a little veteran, they were taught well by CP3. And maybe, the next 5, 6 years. Remember, the Suns are not going to win the championship in the next 5 years.
No.
They probably won't.
They're not.
But they're in prime position to win one 6 years from now, 5 years, 7, who knows?
So, I think long term it's a good move.
Yeah, it's a good short-term deal to bring CP3 in for his leadership, but it's going to pay dividends in the end. Yeah, you can say they gave up a little bit too much. No, because you know what? It's okay. They're going to get some big free agent signings with Booker and Ayton get big. They're going to attract free agents to Phoenix.
I just don't like giving up. My biggest thing is I don't like giving up Kelly Oubre. I think Kelly Oubre is good. He's a great role player. He really reminds me of like all those awesome role players that can shoot from the outside, who can defend, high energy guy. I think they should have tried to. I mean, maybe they couldn't keep him trying to get CP3. But like you said, in the short term, I think it doesn't make sense. I don't like it in the short term just because they gave up quite a bit to get him, and he's older. But in the long term, like you said, it teaches Booker how to distribute the ball better. It teaches him how to be a better leader, and I think that's where he's lacking right now.
Yeah.
It shows. I think it's going to show DeAndre Ayton how to roll to the basket better, how to get open more, and the dude is already a beast. So give him a little bit of leadership. I think it only helps. Just don't like it in the short term, giving up those picks. And man, if you're the Thunder GM, what a day for you, right? Like twice you've really come up big on these trades, both involving Chris Paul. You got yourself your franchise player in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You got a bunch of more. You got way more draft picks to just build off of. Add some depth to your team. You added even Nerlens Noel has been a guy that everybody forgot about, but he came in and averaged a double-double off the bench. You had Dennis Schroeder coming in, who everybody wrote off too, and now he was basically the 6th man of the year. He should have been the 6th man of the year. Going to the Lakers now, going to be a part of that big 3 there. Which tell me, what did you think about that trade?
Amazing trade for the Lakers. They solidified themselves being the ultimate favorites in the NBA to win a championship next year. Dennis Schroeder is an absolute beast coming off the bench, averaging like 18 points a
Yeah, it was
game.
18.3, I think. Yeah, it was crazy.
Lord, and he could shoot. Yes, his defense isn't as good as Danny Green's, but it's okay. When the Lakers get Wesley Matthews, that's going to be their defensive lock, right? He's going to be a lock on my defense. You got Schroeder from the outside. He's like a little mini, he's a mini skinny version of Russell Westbrook. That's what I see him as.
Yeah.
He's dynamic. He could explode up for the big Showtime dunks. And it's going to create more, relief off of AD and LeBron because now teams have to respect the explosiveness
of Schroeder.
Of Schroeder, yeah.
And I think it's a good move because
Schroeder, where do you come from?
I know he played for the Atlanta Hawks, but before that, sheesh, I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna say you're wrong. I'm gonna say you're wrong.
I said Marquette.
Straight from Germany.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Oh well, the last name like Schroeder, I guess.
German.
Yeah. So, I think what he does for the Lakers is he provides that spark off the bench. He's going to lead that second unit. And like you said, you have to respect his ability to score, things like that. You really have to put an emphasis on trying to stop Dennis Schroeder. But you can't, because you have to do that with LeBron, with AD. So on their off nights, he's going to really do well. And I think the biggest thing for the Lakers is they can't wait for a young guy to develop. They can't wait for a Kyle Kuzma to be the guy off the bench. They're going to go out and get a guy like Dennis Schroeder, who's proven can do it now. So I like that move for sure. The other move in the NBA that has me like, man, the Bucks are trying really, really hard to keep Giannis there. What do you think about the Bucks movement where they picked up Holiday, they picked up Bogdanovich, who I'm telling you, if you haven't watched him play,
he's good.
That guy can score. He can score the basketball. Yeah. So what do you think about that move? Do you like it? I mean, are the Bucks really going all in to try to show Giannis, we can win a championship here?
Funny. The Bucks are doing these trades to have a competitive team. So when Giannis leaves next year, when he leaves, the Bucks will still have Bogdanovich, they'll still have Holiday, and maybe they could go out and get people. Giannis is leaving. He's not going to stay in Milwaukee, people. He's not going to stay in Milwaukee.
Do you really think that's his personality, though, to be one of those guys who – I feel like he just values loyalty so much that I think it'd be hard for him to leave the franchise that really, they pulled him out. I mean, if you think about it, obviously his hard work and all that stuff, but they took a chance on him. A lot of teams passed on him, really pulled him out of poverty, and, they're paying his bills. They're giving him a bunch of money. I mean, I know he did it on his own. I'm just saying they gave him the opportunity.
Real quick, in the NBA salary cap, I know we're not money people in here. You probably more than me because, you work in a bank or whatever.
Right.
You think you're cool, yeah. NBA, I think, like, for a team could max out with, like, 3 max contracts on a team, right?
Right.
If I'm not mistaken. And, wow, watch your mouth. Yeah, that was cute. So a team could max out with 3 max contracts, right, and then have a bunch of, low-level athletes. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, LeBron James is 1. Anthony Davis is 2.
That's not gonna happen. I don't see him doing that. I just don't see Giannis.
3? What?
He doesn't strike me as that KD guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't strike me as a guy who.
He strikes me as a family guy for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he has 3 brothers in the NBA.
Yeah, one of his brothers does play for the Lakers, but one of his brothers plays for the Bucks too. So, Thanos, I believe, Thanos Antetokounmpo.
Both of them go to the Lakers. Okay.
I mean, it's possible. I don't see it happening. I know the Heat want to go all in on Giannis this year to try to get him there.
A great fit for him.
It would be a wonderful fit for him. It would be a tremendous fit for him. He would learn, that's his biggest thing in Milwaukee, that he emphasizes is team basketball. Who plays team basketball better than the Heat? Absolutely nobody. So those are some of those rumors that are going around, and just kind of grading some of these trades. I think the Chris Paul one initially grades bad, but then it ends up being good. And I think that the Bucks made the moves that they had to make. I think it was kind of desperate. Yeah. The Dennis Schroeder deal, amazing. Lakers won that one.
Dunk.
Rob Pelinka, once again, just being a beast. That's just what he does. But
hey, you know what team we have not mentioned yet at all?
Who?
We have not mentioned at all that second team from LA. The what do they call it again? The Clippers. Yeah.
Man, you know what? They need a scorer there really, really badly, because Kawhi is just. I think we've overanalyzed and overemphasized how good Kawhi is. I'm not saying he's not great. I just think he's the greatest Pippen of all time. I don't know if he's really a Jordan. I think he's the greatest Pippen of all time. He's a really great second guy on the team, but he's not Jordan. He's not Kobe. He's not LeBron.
Music to my ears.
That's just how I feel about him. I think Scottie Pippen was amazing. Not taking away from Scottie Pippen or any second player on all these championship teams, but I think Kawhi has been the greatest one. He's got the best skill set, plays defense at a great rate, scores at a great rate, can body up every position on the court. He can just do everything for you. But I think he needs a guy to really take over and score, and he's going to play that secondary role. That's just how I feel.
I mean, he did have pandemic P. Oh, just kidding.
Paul George. Hey, so it was kind of funny. He posted a picture on when he got engaged, and he said hashtag she got a ring first. At least he's knowing it, and I'm pretty sure he feels pretty bad about what he said to Dame Lillard all those weeks back. So, but that was some NBA catching you up on that. Next, so we're gonna go back to the NFL. And
this topic I want to talk about because
I'm excited about it too. So Drew Brees got nailed on that game against the Niners, and he got hit pretty bad. Looks like he's got some bruised ribs and a collapsed lung. He's gonna be out 2 to 3 weeks, and I think that's being generous. I think if the Saints are still winning, they probably keep him out longer. But to win, they got to put somebody under center. And right now, it's between a guy, Taysom Hill, who's kind of been there, everything, kind of does everything on the field, tight end, running back, quarterback, receiver, everything. He's the Swiss Army knife of that team. It is a natural quarterback though, and we saw the Saints go away from him and actually go with Teddy Bridgewater last year when Drew Brees got hurt. This year, the other guy there is another former Buccaneer in the same division, Jameis Winston.
What are you laughing for? How are you laughing?
I'm not laughing. I love Jameis, but he's the first player in history to throw for 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in the same season.
Yeah. Okay. Stop. Jameis Winston is going to be the Jimmy Garoppolo of the NFL. Jameis Winston is going to go ahead and take over this team.
Hand the ball off?
Castle. Garoppolo comes back up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
There you go. He's going to take over this team, dude. And Jameis Winston, he's going to cash out after this year. Look, last year, you're right. He did have 33 touchdowns, which was, by the way, number 2 in the NFL last year. Yeah, he had 3 interceptions.
Who was number 1? Pat Mahomes, probably?
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah. He did want. Yeah, he won the MVP.
Than Mahomes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, by the way, Chuchi, who was the only quarterback last year to throw over 5,000 yards?
The only one? It was Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
He did lead the league in passing, yeah.
He threw over 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns.
But that's because he threw so many pick sixes that he kept getting the ball back. So.
I don't care. He threw 5,000 yards.
You just can't win games turning the ball over that much.
Okay, let me just say this though. Okay? This is the stat that I want to. Boom!
Let's hear it.
Who are the receivers for the Saints, please?
Mike Thomas.
Oh, yeah. Okay, by him, yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders. Traquan Smith. That's
good there. Just those two. They are, I think, deep ball threats who are animals down the field.
Emmanuel Sanders for sure.
Drew Brees. I love you, my guy. You're great. You can't throw a ball past 20 yards. That's okay, though. You're succeeding. What is Jameis Winston going to do this year?
Chuck that rock.
Last year, he was 8.2 pass yards per attempt. That was top 5 in the NFL. 8.2 pass yards. He's going to go ahead. And by the way, not football related, what else did Jameis Winston have done to him in the offseason?
Yeah, he had the LASIK surgery. Yeah.
He got LASIK surgery.
So he was blind all of last year.
You can see now. 8.2 yards per attempt. Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Alvin Kamara back in the backfield.
Traquan, Jared Cook. They're set up well.
Jameis Winston is going to be a beast. I think I'm going to go out. I'm going to say it.
Okay.
the Saints are going to have more success with Jameis Winston than Drew Brees.
Ooh, that is bold right there.
Bold.
That is bold.
Bold. I
I
bet you teams who had to play against the Saints, I don't know who the Saints are playing this week, okay? But that defensive coordinator from the NFL team that's playing the Saints this week is going gaga in his pants right now.
sweating
it because they know when you got Drew Brees, he's not going to throw the ball past 20 yards.
Okay? That's true. You could play a different type of defense. They're playing the Falcons this week, and even without Drew Brees, they're actually 5-point favorites. So,
rest in peace, Atlanta. Rest in peace.
So I'm not gonna. So I laugh not because I disagree with you. I laugh because Jameis Winston is just he's a clown. He's just a clown. He comes into the locker room with his eat a W. So a funny stat about that, when he did the eat a W at Tampa, the speech, he was 1-9 after that speech. So he was really bad. But yes, so the biggest thing for me is if he can limit the turnovers, right? He's a very talented quarterback. He won the national championship at Florida State. He went back to it the next year. Of course, he had the whole stolen crab legs things. That was pretty funny to me. But I think Jameis Winston has all the talent in the world. I think the Bucs, the only reason they didn't take a chance on him again is because they knew they were getting Tom Brady. But yeah, I love Jameis in the situation. I think Taysom Hill is better served as that all-purpose guy.
And he's going to play too.
Oh yeah, he's going to play. Yeah, he's going to play. Yeah, he'll get some snaps. He'll do some trick plays. He'll get some throws in, definitely. And I want to see that because Taysom Hill's a great athlete. You know, he's a guy like we haven't seen in a long time. But I think he's best served in that role. Let Jameis do his thing here. Now, the thing for me that is gonna determine whether or not he has tremendous success or not is how much has he learned from Drew Brees? How much has he really taken in Drew Brees' leadership, and how much has he really committed himself to learning that playbook and to doing a good job? And if you want to see something else very funny about Jameis Winston, watch his pregame warm-ups. The guy's hilarious. He just out there twisting his hips, doing the whole Dak, pelvic thrust, all that stuff. So he's definitely a character. But yeah, he is set up for success. Good offensive line, 2 great running backs there, a plethora of good receivers, and a good tight end. He's set up well, and a great defense. Not to mention the Saints have been have had.
Now, I have a question for my main man, Mr. Cobian, Mr. Mauricio Cobian. Now, you heard us talking, about Jameis Winston and how he's had success, but that success has also come with bad plays, bad stats. Mo, give me a bold prediction, Mo. How many touchdowns will Jameis Winston have this Sunday? Just give me a number.
Easy. 2.
2.
Wow, you're bold. You are bold. That is a bold prediction.
That. So Mo has said Jameis Winston will have 2 touchdowns. You know what? I agree with that. He will have 2 passing touchdowns, and Alvin Kamara will have 2 rushing touchdowns.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Those are both some statements there.
All right.
Thank you, Mo.
Yeah, Mo, that wasn't bad. I'm gonna. So we got those 2 topics out of the way, and let's go Jameis. I'm on the Jameis bandwagon. I might pick him up in fantasy if they announce him as a starter. Hopefully, I can eat a W. But topic 3, something we don't talk about very often. Mo, I'm gonna put you on the spot right now. The voice of God. You should have all the answers, my guy. All right. You are a lifelong WWF, WWE fan.
Yes.
And I know this because I've gone to your house and watched WrestleMania with you. We were wearing John Cena underwear, no shirts, watching it on your couch. I mean, we were fully clothed, separated, all that. And anyway, Mo, we were right there.
To know about that.
We've been watching WrestleManias together for a good while here, talking about it constantly. But you've seen it from way back in the day till now. What to you has, and the product is not as good as it used to be, right? What to you has really changed that? What has made, the Attitude Era, The Rock, Stone Cold, Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, all those guys? What has changed from the Attitude Era to the modern era, and why is the product not as good?
I think one of the big reasons that everything kind of went downhill. Like, I'm not really invested as I used to be, and
right.
And when we were watching it, when I started working with you, like it was at like the peak when I wanted to watch it, when it was when to me it was huge. Like CM Punk was on. I luckily I got to see I got to see Raw in San Diego with my brother, and man, it was amazing. Like I don't remember much of it, but what I do remember was I saw Kevin Nash, I saw Triple H, I saw CM Punk, and I mean around that time, Kevin Nash was kind of like he was just floating around, like he didn't know what he was doing. Pretty much, that's what I thought, because his storyline never made sense to me. But the whole CM Punk thing, like just bashing on Kevin Nash, telling him like Big Diesel, Mister, who are you? What are you doing? Like, what, you gonna go tear your quad again? Just walking into the ring, just calling things how it was. And, it's like these little things that kind of came out of from behind the scenes and the fans knew about. Like, oh, yeah, like, it was like a running joke. Like, people, hey, look, Royal Rumble, Kevin Nash going to come out and tear his quad and go into the ring. But it was...
My question for you is, I think they did a really good job of when the Attitude Era was kind of coming to an end. And then you had some of the older guys kind of lingering around, right? You had like Taker, you had Ric Flair, guys like that. And then they really ushered in the new guys to take them out. You know what I mean? Yeah. You had like Randy Orton was competing against Ric Flair. You had, obviously, you saw CM Punk had those great fights against The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar. And they walked them through, these are the next guys. These are the guys you got to watch. Cena and The Rock's, all their epic battles. Now, my opinion is I don't think they did that well enough with the new era. Like, they didn't have John Cena fight somebody like Drew McIntyre or something like that. You think that's a problem? You think that's one of the biggest issues?
I don't think it's not a big issue on that. It's just how the transitions that they've made. It doesn't, to me, some of them they don't make sense.
Yeah.
They'll build somebody up and then there's people following him. A good example is like Rusev. Rusev had remember the whole Rusev Day thing?
Yep.
And he had Aiden English walking, introducing him. That was like the biggest, like, to me, it was like the biggest intro after Brock Lesnar. Like, come on, this guy comes out. There's no music, no nothing. He comes out with the mic, and he just hits a Rusev Day, right? and like everybody goes crazy because they know what it is. And then this guy comes out, and everybody goes crazy. And then
I think they've done a bad job of really killing people's characters, like really not developing them enough, and it's really just diluted the product so much. And it's so hard to watch now. It's just like it's so hard to watch.
I have an idea for the WWE. And I was thinking about this a lot because I used to be a huge fan. Huge fan. Goldberg.
See, yeah. And then Goldberg was another problem. They brought him in at the wrong time. I think they brought him in at the wrong time. Everybody was so invested in what was going on. And see, like, I can't even remember what happened before. And
his matches were always 2 minutes long. It wasn't enough Goldberg.
And it's funny because they came out with a documentary saying like, oh, it was a thing, like Goldberg's matches were 2 minutes long or like no more than 2 minutes because he couldn't wrestle, and when he did, he would injure people.
Right.
A good example is Bret Hart. He super kicked Bret Hart in the face and broke his neck.
Eesh.
And
so Mandy, what was your idea though?
So my idea, thank you for bringing back in. Apparently Mo could talk for freaking hours about WWE. That's cute.
Oh yeah, that's my boy right there. That's my boy.
But what they need to do is, if the WWE is smart, and Vince McMahon, smart guy,
really smart guy,
he would get a deal with Netflix, with Amazon, whatever. He has his own channel, right? His own little
streaming service. Yeah.
What he would do is go back to like 1997, right, and just pick a start date and show in succession. Like season 1 would be all of half of 1997, every Monday Night Raw and every single pay-per-view in order, and like a novella, like a soap opera.
That'd be pretty fire.
Right?
That'd be pretty fire.
Because back then there was like storylines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mo, they don't have something like that on the network right now, right? You just kind of have to piece it together yourself.
No, they do have all the episodes that you can watch Raw, SmackDown, dating back to like the late 90s.
But like if they don't have the pay-per-views, right? Like you would have to kind of go piece it together yourself.
Yeah, you would have to piece it together. So if you, for example, if you're following it, they're like, oh, this Saturday,
right? You'd have to go to that year to find it. But that's a good point, Mandy. I would honestly, I'd sit down and I'd watch it
binge
religiously. Yeah, I would literally watch it
no
all the time.
commercials, no commercials, straight through.
And all the little things on the side, like the little interviews with coach and all that stuff. Yeah,
Hold
that
on.
would be
But
that'd
don't
be
get
undefeated.
me don't. I mean, he's right. He has a point. But at the same time, you know, there were like flops and like duds that they had around that time. But
That's
even
true.
hold on. Even the people that they had though, you still remember their names.
Yeah.
Like like
the Hurricane.
Hurricane Gilbert. Remember Gilbert? Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the 1 2 3 kid.
The 1 2 3 kid.
Yeah, like they had
Scotty Too Hottie.
They had like the scrubs, or like, you know, they call them jobbers or whatever. But they had the scrubs, that like today, if you watched it, and you know who they were, you really don't care about them. You see that match going on, or you hear it, you see them on the screen, you're like, I don't want to watch this. But
yeah, that's true.
But back then, the scrubs that were on TV, you're like,
you still want to watch them.
Yeah, you still watch it because the product was so good. And so I thank you, Mo. I really thank you for bringing in the WWE this week, because and WWF before that, because it's important and it's great and it's a sport. And if you disagree, I'll send Mo after you and he'll Stone Cold Stunner you. Trust me, I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. Naked, butt naked, oil. No, just kidding.
Balls on the back.
TVMA. But anyway, those were our topics. I'm going to get you a quick fantasy minute or two here. A couple of guys I got my eye on, or plays I got my eye on here. The Bears running back, David Montgomery, I don't know how long he's going to be hurt. Not effective when he's in the game anyway. Bears are dead last in rushing. One guy to keep an eye on as a flex, Cordero Patterson is a receiver for the Bears. But he's awesome, but he's been getting a lot of reps at running back. They also got Lamar Miller. Not excited about that signing. He's not very good. But they throw it to him out of the backfield. He's a mismatch when he's back there. Also returns kicks, so you can get some points on the kick return. He actually just returned one this Monday night against the Vikings, so pretty good. Also on the Bears, while I was watching the Bears, one thing I noticed is that their offense sucks really bad. So I advise you, if you don't have a defense that you're playing season long with, like the Steelers or the Pats or something like that, go ahead and waiver whatever team is playing the Chicago Bears. I did that with the Vikings this week. Got me 10 points. What more can you ask for from a defense, right? 10 points because the Chicago Bears offense is so bad. They make mediocre defenses look really good, and they score decent points on them.
I think they might have lost Nick Foles, right?
It's possible, yeah, which also Trubisky's hurt too, so they're going to go to a guy who he had 4 throws in there. He looked awful, like really bad, really, really bad. So think about wavering the other team's defense when you're playing the Bears. Not the Bears' defense is good too. I think they're going to be devalued though, because their offense is going to be so bad. They're going to be on the field so much. Because last week they scored on defense or on special teams. They returned a kick. Typically that means you scoring 20 points with your defense. Only scored 10 because their offense is that bad. So just keep that in mind. Play him with caution. Another guy, he's coming off of IR. He's probably on your roster, but if somebody was dumb enough to drop him, go pick him up. Alan Lazard for the Green Bay Packers. He's coming off of IR finally, and he's coming out of training camp. Roger said, this is the guy I trust the most besides Devontae Adams, and when he was playing, he showed it. The Iowa State product is great, catches a lot of balls. He's awesome. If somebody was dumb enough to drop him, if in your first, second, third, and waiver priority, Alan Lazard is a must pick up for you there. So that was my fantasy minute or two.
But hold on.
Oh, he's got one.
I thought you were definitely going to talk about this. I mean, I thought the hottest pickup right now, I'm in 3 leagues. I'm in 4 leagues. All 4 leagues did not have this guy. I put him on the waiver wire. Who's going to be the starting running back for the Miami Dolphins this week?
I guess Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to pick him up.
I'm just concerned with him. Yeah, I'm just concerned with him because he doesn't get a lot of carries. It's like it's a lot of red zone. Yeah, it's a lot of red zone work, and I'm just concerned with him. I'm not ready. I'm not completely sold on him yet. Plus, also the Dolphins had a sneaky trade. They traded for DeAndre Washington, the former Raider running back and Chief running back. He's a good workhorse back, and if they need someone with a little bit more veteran presence, he's going to sneak and steal some carries from them.
For 1 week.
It's possible.
If you need a running back for 1 week, you pick him up, man. He's going to start this week. He's going to be the workhorse, and then you drop him because I have Gaskin on my IR, and he's going to come back next week. So we're fine.
I'm not sold on him. That's not my fantasy advice, but that's Mandy's. So he might do some stuff for you. You never know. But then again, Mandy also like he's big on Cam Newton. He's been kind of hit or miss. So
Cam Newton won me 2 games last week, right?
Consistency is key. Consistency is key in fantasy football, and that's what we're talking about here.
So, hold on. In our Next Man Up, was it a 12-team fantasy league?
16-team. 16 team.
I'm in 3rd, and you were in.
I think I dropped to like 6. I lost again. Yeah. Shout out to Uncle Johnny for beating me this week. That wasn't cool, Uncle. But now we'll move on. We talked about consistency. Something we've been somewhat consistent, a little inconsistent on my end, more so. We're gonna move on to the lock and the underdog of the week, presented by Mandy and Chooch and the NextManUp Sportscast, making you some good money here. Mandy actually did great last week. 2-0 with that Liberty pick. I wanted to find it on my book, Mandy, and put it in. I
found it in my book.
I'm proud of you. So they definitely covered by halftime. I think they were up by over 20 points. 21 points. So definitely covering any 15 to like 19 spread would have covered for sure. And then your underdog, I was surprised, man. I saw Wake Forest. I mean, I'm not surprised that it hit, but
they're up by 21 points.
Yeah, I'm surprised how well they played. And not to say anything about their team. It's just I thought North Carolina was a little bit better. I did take it. I added another point, so it's 14.5. Still covered. Great play. Never really felt in doubt the whole game, which is something that's rare when you're betting, right? But so this week you're rocking with Liberty again, but you're fading them.
Yes, Liberty, you're a great story. You're 7-8-0. You beat like 3 ACC teams. That was great. But Liberty, everyone knows about you. The ACC knows about you. ACC is tired of getting a butt kick. NC State, they're good.
They are really good.
They have a really good quarterback.
That's what I was about to say. They have a great quarterback. Yes.
Great quarterback. And NC State is only favored by 3.5, I believe.
3.5, yeah.
Yeah. I'm taking NC State to cover the 3.5 points. It might go up to 5 by Friday morning. I'll still take NC State to go ahead and cover against Liberty. Liberty's great. Liberty's a good team. Don't get twisted. But everyone knows about you now, Liberty. NC State knows about you. They're not only they're scared of you, but they're
prepared. They're not catching anybody by surprise. Yes. And that's my biggest thing is I looked at their schedule, Liberty, because it's a good story. I want them to go undefeated. And
I do too.
The one game I circled that they could lose, NC State. So, and this is the game, the Wolfpack is good. They're a good team. So they definitely got to play well to win this one. You're underdog. I wasn't sure about this pick, so tell me about it, because I want to hear you talk about it, because I want you to convince me. I want to put this one in.
Okay, look. Sticking with the Liberty train here. Yeah. Last week, Liberty played against Western Carolina.
The FCS school. FCS school, yeah.
FCS school. And I told you that West Carolina was the first game of the season.
Yeah.
And the coach on record, he said that he was going to play everybody because they're waiting for their season in the spring. That's when it counts. He's using these 3-4 fall league games to be more of a spring training.
Right.
Well, Western Carolina first quarter scared the crap out of me.
They scored pretty fast. Yeah, they scored pretty fast.
They were tied 7-7 against Liberty the first quarter, and then Liberty scored like 4 touchdowns in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, that being said, Western Carolina, that means they're good. Their starters are good. So I think the coach, after one game, he sees what he has. He's going to go ahead and narrow down the depth chart, focus on what he has, and now they have one game experience, and now they're not going to play against an undefeated Liberty team. Now they're playing against a woeful Eastern Kentucky team.
They've been bad.
I think Western Carolina is going to go ahead. I think it was 7.5 points.
Yeah. You think they win outright?
Huh?
You think they win outright?
No. Take the 7.5 points.
Okay.
Take the 7.5 points. Western Carolina plus 7.5.
Okay. I like it. I'm going to stick with my Sunday picks. Last week, obviously, I missed the Raider over by 2 points. It pissed me off. The Raiders' offense was great. They scored 37 points. They got 3 interceptions. They were sacking Drew Lock all over the place. But in the end, that ended up not being good because the Bronco offense was god-awful, like god-awful. They were bad. They scored 12 points against the Raiders, who are a bottom 10 defense. That was awful. I was expecting the Raiders to win. I wasn't expecting them to win by that much. I just wish the Broncos would have got one more field goal, would have covered, would have been great. But they did not. So I'm going to go away from the overs this week. I'm going to lock in the Miami Dolphins. And the Miami Dolphins have been awesome this year, especially against the spread. As favorites, they're 2-0 against the spread. Overall, they're 7-2 against the spread. They get the Broncos this week, who were just so bad. And the Dolphins have been playing so good. They're like, I think they've won their last 6 games. So I'm there. The spread is -3.5. I'd probably buy a point just to get to 3. And I think they cover. I think they beat the Broncos bad, and I think the Broncos start kind of like mailing in the season a little bit, trying to secure a good draft pick here. So definitely lock in the Miami Dolphins, especially being in the wild card hunt. And then my underdog, I really like the Bengals this week. Okay, I like the Bengals most weeks because they're a talented football team. They just got really beat up by the Steelers, and the Steelers really were like, we're big brother in this division, and we're going to let you know. Joe Burrow did nothing. He had that one really good drive where he looked at T. Higgins almost a whole drive, and then the Steelers said, you know what, never mind, we're going to take that away, and they did. But they're going in as underdogs against the Washington football team, who is tough, but they're not good. They're just not a good football team. After watching them again, they're not as good as I thought they were, especially without Kyle Allen back there. Alex Smith is really good for completion props because he throws a ton of slants and stuff like that. He had like 360 yards, like 40 completions. So if you want to lock him in on that, yes. But I think the Bengals actually win out right here. They're underdogs by 2 points. But I think they win out right here. I moneyline the Bengals to beat the Washington football team this week. So that's my lock. That's my underdog.
So give me a recap of what you picked again.
I went with the Miami Dolphins -3.5, and then as my underdog, the Cincinnati Bengals money line. I'm going to money line them. They're 2-point underdogs though.
Sounds good.
Yep, I like it. So we're going to move on, Mandy, to of course the part of the show that everybody just seems to really enjoy, and not because I do this weird voice, but because it's rapid fire sports trivia with Mandy and Chooch. That's me. So, Mandy, for this week, you said it's going to be easy. I don't know if it's going to be so easy because it's really hard to overlook certain guys. Just like last year, who would have thought Jameis Winston was the league passing leader, right? Mm-hmm. Playing off of that, I got all the NFL leaders in passing right now. Give me the top. I'm going to give you – I got the top like 15 pulled up. I'm going to go off the top 10. Give me 5 guys on the list, and I'll give you 2 extra guesses, we'll say. And if you get them right, we'll count them.
All right. So I'm not going to go with Lamar Jackson because I know he's having a bad year. His receiver's having a bad year, so I won't go there. Okay. I'm going to go with, you got to go with Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Okay. We got to go Tom Brady.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Tomas.
I even go Jared Goff.
Okay.
And then, how many is that, 4?
That's 4.
And let's go Matty Ice.
Matty Ice. Okay, so of the top 5, we'll start here. You got 3. Okay? You got 3. So you have 2 remaining. I'm going to give you these 2 bonus questions here. Now, it has to be in the top 5. If it's outside the top 5, it's not going to count now. So what do you got?
Give me some time. I'm trying to go through the NFL teams in my head. Which ones look? Oh, give me the guy from the Bills.
Got to know his name. Otherwise, you can't. This is like Jeopardy. Come on.
Allen.
Josh Allen. Yeah.
Josh Allen. And give me Big Ben. Ben Roethlisberger.
Big Ben. So you got 1. Josh Allen is number 1 in passing. Big Ben is not even on the top 10, top 15. Oh, wow. You missed Russell Wilson. Let Russ cook.
You missed Russ. How about let Russ cook? In the last 4 games, Russell Wilson has been. Ugh.
Yeah, he's been average, but he's still number 2 in passing. Oh, Matty Ice is number 3. That's pretty good. I didn't see you getting that one. Tom Brady number 4. Pat Mahomes 5. Rodgers is 6, so you didn't make the list there. Jared Goff is 7, 8, 9, 10th on the list. Roethlisberger is he's pretty down. Let's see. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th on the list.
That's crazy.
Yes. So Way down there. So I give you 4 with the bonus ones. Without them, you only got 3. So, okay, not too
My
bad.
question to you is, since you asked me about the top 5 passing yard leaders, my question to you is top 5 receiving leaders.
Receiving leaders. Okay, so I'm gonna go with one that I know. I think he's leading the league in receiving. DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
Say DeAndre Hopkins. Actually, I think Stephon Diggs is leading the league in receiving. Let's say Stephon Diggs in there. I'll go with Robbie Anderson. I think he's top 5. He might be top 10. Gotta say DK Metcalf. He's been great. And he missed some time. I want to say Devontae Adams, but he did miss some time. I'll go Devontae Adams. Is that 5?
Okay. Yes.
So of the top 5, how many did I get? All 5.
You got 4.
Oh,
you got 4 top 5.
Okay.
So I'll give you, I guess, 2 more chances to think of that 5th one.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Yeah. Let me see. Top 5. Who am I missing here?
You won't get him.
It's probably a rookie, huh?
5.
Justin Jefferson.
Okay, Jefferson. Who else? One more.
I'll go with. It's not a Steeler receiver.
4, 3.
Wait, chill out. I didn't give you no countdown.
Oh my God.
What is this?
It's rapid fire.
I'm trying here. Let's go with. Man, it's probably not even a receiver. What should be a running back? But it has to. No. I'll say Alvin Kamara. I'm just gonna. That's a wild one.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But.
Yeah, so you didn't get any of them on your on the bonus question. So you were right. Stephon Diggs number 1, Hopkins number 2, Metcalf number 3, Anderson number 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. McLaurin was number 4.
Oh, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
Ah, wow. I did not expect that. And I have him rostered in a bunch of fantasy leagues.
Yeah. Devontae Adams was number 9. Okay. Jefferson, the rookie, was number 7.
He's been hot.
And Kamara was not even on the list. But the actually number 6 is Travis Kelce, tight end.
Wow. Okay. I believe that. I was trying to think of someone from the Chiefs. I didn't think Tyreek Hill was there. So yeah, I didn't say Tyreek Hill. But anywho, I would say I kind of did. I did.
You won. I'll give you that because I got 3, and then I got the 1 bonus. I got 4 out of 5. You got 4 out of 5, but you got 4 out of 5 in your first shot. So
that Robbie Anderson one. That was the clutch one right there.
That was impressive. I'm not gonna
lie. Yeah. So that was our rapid fire. That's back-to-back weeks. I'm coming out on top there, just to let y'all know. Mandy's been getting me on the locks. He's been pretty good with that. But now we're gonna go to the part where we just wrap up the show. We take all of our everything we got during the week and we kind of bring it back to you. So Mandy, talk to me. Tell me about your week. Tell me what's your takeaway.
So my takeaway, I want to go ahead and throw a little shout out right there. I posted on my IG. You know, I'm a longtime Ram fan. And I like underdogs. I like the underdogs. And again, this guy doesn't know who I am. He's never heard of me. Of course not, right? But shout out to Andrew Whitworth. Oh man, I saw the game. I'm a Ram fan. It was
long time Bengals captain too.
Long time Bengals, right? Underdog. Long time Bengal had probably never even been to the playoff. Well, I think he's been to some playoff games when Carson Palmer was there, but he was never really a winner. He comes to the Rams and he anchors a left tackle position. Absolutely. Right? Leads them to a Super Bowl.
Could have retired.
He could have retired. He's the oldest left tackle in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he tore his MCL, PCL, AT&T, T-Mobile. He tore everything that he needed. He tore everything. I saw the play. It was sad to see. And he was a cornerstone of the Rams offensive line who's really good this year. Really, really good this year. But, his post that he posted, that's why I want to talk about him. Yeah. He posted the next day. Oh, my gosh, an amazing post. He basically said that this is now where he's going to be tested as a man, right? Because he's not going to quit. He's not going to quit. He's going to be on the sidelines every single game, every single practice, coaching up his players. He still has a commitment to the Rams, to his fans. And he's a leader. He's going to be there coaching up his guys. And I go, damn, he could have phoned it in, go into, the owner's box or the press box or whatever. But no, He said he's going to grind every single day. He'll be in the film rooms. He's going to be in the practice field. He's going to be taking care of his young offensive linemen. And what more do you want? And not just an NFL guy, but what more do you want as just a co-worker?
And a leader. Yeah, absolutely.
You're a real one, my guy.
That's legit right there. I read that too, and I was thinking the same thing. It's like it's so easy to mail in a season after you've had an injury like that, being that old, to just be like, man, I'm done. But he's really not. He's really wants to push his team. And the reason I think he wants to push his team is this is my takeaway, okay? And I've been really, really down on the Rams because haven't been impressed by them. Just haven't been. But as of late, I'm still not impressed by their offense. I'm still really not impressed by their offense. I'm not. But that defense is, and I've said this before, is elite. They're elite. They're fast. They're physical. They have mismatches everywhere on that field. At cornerback, at safety, at linebacker, at D-line. That is an elite defense. If their offense can get on track and get better, because that offense, I'm telling you, I know you're a Rams fan, Mandy. That's not a good offense. It's not a good offense. And they're not a terrible offense, but they're not a good offense either.
Okay, let's say out of the 32 NFL teams, they're top 12 in NFL offense.
No, absolutely not. They're in the middle. They're somewhere in the middle. I promise you.
Oh my God.
I promise you, they're not. That's not a great offense. They don't scare you like they used to with their up-tempo stuff. Jared Goff is not an elite quarterback by any means. He's, they're just not. But like I said, and I've had this, and I know everybody says this, so it's not like, oh, it's this bold prediction. But in an era of offense and airing the ball out and scoring a lot of points, the Rams are showing, and a lot of these teams this year, Pittsburgh, they're showing that you need to win with defense. So my takeaway is. My takeaway is this, okay? The team with the best defense, the defense that comes to play the best in the playoffs, that's going to be your Super Bowl winning team, not a team like the Chiefs. And the Chiefs only won because their defense played great last year. But those offensive juggernauts, they're here to stay because of Sean McVay and things like that. They're here to stay. But the teams that value defense also are going to be the ones that are in the playoffs, are going to be the ones that are winning those playoff games.
Defense, absolutely correct. And what's the other thing you need to win NFL games in the playoffs?
You got to score points.
No. You need to score points. But
coaching.
How? No, you need to rush the ball.
Yeah.
You need to run the ball. And what do the Rams do the best with the three-headed monster with that aggressive offensive line?
Anyway, this is my takeaway. We're not talking about the Rams all that much. Get out of here.
By the way,
But
I wasn't finished with my takeaway. Are you done with your takeaway?
No. My takeaway, to wrap up my takeaway, Mo, I want you to give me one sentence. I don't want to hear nothing. No, I don't want to hear two sentences. I don't want to even hear a comma in that sentence. One sentence to wrap up your week, Mo, and then we're going to wrap up the show. That's it. It's over. All right. Good job, Mo. Yeah, give me your one sentence takeaway. Or phrase.
Well, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to let Mo think. Mo, you think about your one sentence. I know you have so much going through your mind right now, and you're trying to narrow it down to one sentence, Mo. I got you off the clock, Mo. Take your time. Chuchi, real quick.
Let's go.
Real quick, my guy. Do you believe in bulletin board material for NFL, for football players?
What do you mean by that?
Do you think that an opposing team gets gets motivated when they hear the other team talk smack, or they remember what other teams did?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, 100%.
100%, okay. And also, Chuchi, do you agree with this statement? Because I do. I'm a coach myself. One of the hardest things to do in sports is to beat a team twice in the same season.
Yeah. I mean, at times, not. Sometimes.
Putting those two together, okay? Everyone, this is Mandy's extreme lock of the week. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to curb stomp the Oakland Raiders. Why? Number one, Andy Reid is on record saying he has not forgotten what the Oakland Raiders did this year. When the Raiders beat them in Arrowhead Stadium, the Oakland Raiders decided to take a victory lap on their bus around the stadium.
That was fire.
Number two, the Oakland Raiders beat the Kansas City Chiefs fair and square.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
The Oakland Raiders beat the Kansas City Chiefs early in the year.
Oh, and during that win, didn't they score 40 points? Pick off Patrick Mahomes for the first time since like week 15 of last, something like that, right?
That's great. So put it together, bulletin board motivation, being a team twice. Oh, and I forgot to add, what is Andy Reid's record coming off?
It's ridiculous. Off a bye, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Raiders are gonna get cursed.
We'll see. We'll see. And either way, we've already got him once in Arrowhead. We got him once in Arrowhead, and honestly, they got a chance, and that's all they need is a chance. Mo, give me that sentence, baby. Wrap up this show in one sentence.
WWE needs to step it up.
There we go.
I like that.
Calling you out, Mr. McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon. That's my boy, the voice of God, calling you out. Make sure you step it up, WWE, and make sure you tune in next week to the NextManUp Sportscast. Make sure you share this show. Let everybody know. Let your friends know. Make sure you follow us on IG, all that stuff. If you are, I'm giving you a call to action. Let 3 people know about the show that don't know about it, that are going to love it, because you know you do. I'm talking to you, my loyal listeners. I'm talking
to that one guy who said I was falling asleep in the last show. You know what? You're right. I was. Okay, deal with it.
He's awake now. He's awake now.
You woke me up. Bulletin board motivation. I'm back at it.
Andy read the comments. He heard you. We're getting back in it. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Look at these faces. Listen to the show. And we'll be back next week. We'll be back every week with the NextManUp Sportscast.